Hi, this is James from Tabletop Gaming Guild, and today we're going to look at Cartographers Heroes. This is published by TW Games, and it's a 1 to 100 player game. This is a flip and write game where you're trying to design the best realm and get the most points for your land placements in the game. Now, if you've played Cartographers, this is generally the same game. The only difference is now you have heroes. Heroes will take up places on your player board, but they also protect you from monsters and cancel out spaces. So now you're going to have to deal with canceled out spaces and be able to more easily mitigate monsters. So there's going to be a lot more decisions on placements in here and a lot more decisions on like adjacency and stuff like that. So let's go ahead down to the table. I'll give you a general overview of how to play Cartographers Heroes, and then we're going to come back and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, so this is Cartographers Heroes. In Cartographers Heroes, you're trying to make the best map on here and get the most points by the end of the game. The game will go over 4 seasons, and to start the game, you're going to set these seasons in order and put them in a pile. You'll put out A, B, C, and D, and you'll shuffle each of these little decks with the back that matches the letter here, and there's a good little stack of each one of these, and you'll put them out. So there's a lot of variety on what the objectives are. Each of these seasons will have 2 different scoring to them. So for this summer, we'll have B and C. So I'm going to be going to try to get these as much as possible. So for this one here, I'm going to be trying to give the little villages, and you're going to need to try to have little clusters of 4 or more in them that are vertical. So this is something you're going to be trying to do. And you can get up to 7 points. This one here, you're going to try to have 3 or more adjacent farmlands to water to get your points there. And that's going to determine how I'm going to basically try to aim for my placements on here. And also keep in mind the other scoring ones, because they'll come up later and maybe I want to look to the future. So the round's going to last for the amount of time that's on here. And each card that flipped may or may not have a time set to it. So if I flipped up, I got Troll Ravage, but we'll go back to that one. This one here is going to be 2 times. So will be 5 time left before the season ends. So with this card here, I can put either villages or water, and I can put it down in this shape, and I can rotate it any way. And I may want to place it, let's say I place my villages right here, because, and they would a little picture here like that to show that that's there, or you can do a colored marker or whatever you want to do. It doesn't need to be amazing, just so everyone knows what these are. So this space here, maybe I'll just do an arrow. This space here for these mountains, if I cover all 4 areas around it, not diagonally, I'll get a coin. And coins are cumulative, so they'll give me points at the end of every season for however many coins I have. The rune space, you can cover them over, but some cards have a little rune symbol on them and they require you to place a shape there. If you ever can't place a shape, you can put a single square there, and that would indicate whatever resource you want, you put it on there. So if we flip a monster, those act a little differently. So you're going to pass your sheet in the direction, in this case it's going to be clockwise, and that player is going to write this troll down. This troll is going to be negative points for you at the end of each season for every space that isn't covered around it. So I would probably place the troll something like this and make it rough for you because it's in the middle of everything. And my goal would be to probably make sure that all the spaces around it are covered so I don't lose any points. And diagonal space don't count. It's going to be, so it'll be, if I don't do anything, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, negative 8 points. So I'm going to want to do something. That card doesn't count for anything. And each round you're going to be shuffling some of these attack cards in. So you'll have more and more as the game goes by. Especially if you haven't resolved them. If you haven't resolved them, then the next round you shuffle your discard back in, not counting these monsters, and add monsters, and you'll have even more. So the next card here is going to be Kethra's Gate. That one's just going to be a single space with whatever resource you want. Doesn't add any time, so I'll place that one here. Maybe I'm going to go after that coin now, and I'll do another little village thing. My writing is really horrible. And I'll do this one. This one here is going to put the time up 2, so now I'm down to 3 time left. And this is going to let me put a forest or water in the shape below. And maybe I'll slap that guy right here. And since one of the goals has to deal with water, I'll throw water in here. And now I gain a coin, so I just cross that off. Keep on going. We're going to skip that one. Keep on going here. This is another 1 time, so now I have 2 time left because I have 5. And I can do 2 different things. I'm placing a pasture down, but I can do it in this shape, which is 1 space and then a space, then 1 space, and I gain a coin. Or I can do this shape. And I'm going to do that shape because I could place that right here. And, whoops, did the shape wrong even too. Place that right here. And I will draw the pastures, which is going to be these lines here. Pardon my horrible, horrible drawing. All right, then I got this one here, and this is going to end the season. And this one here, I can place either villages or these pastures in that T shape. So let's say I'm going to try to limit some of the point loss here now, because I wasn't even trying to. And I will cover that. And this will be more, I'll just do little arrows, more of these villages. And you just need to draw them so people know what they are. So now I've ended the season. This card will go off to the side because we're going to start a new season. But first we're going to do scoring. So there's 4 different criteria we're going to score it. So we're going to look at the A and B, or the scoring for this, which is going to be, oh, I really did mess up. Sorry, it's spring. Spring, summer. Anyway, so for spring, I'm going to do the A and B scoring. I'm going to put whatever score that I got for those. And then I'm going to do coins, so however many coins I have, 1 coin. And then I'm going to do negative monsters, which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I'll lose 5 points. And then I'll put my total score there. Then from spring, not summer to spring, from spring, we're going to go to summer. We're going to start a new round. Any of the monsters that we defeated are out. We'll shuffle this up, add monsters in, and start going again. And then this season's going to go 7. The first one was going to be 8, then fall 7, and winter 6. So sorry about that. It does start with spring. And I'm going to be scoring for B and C, where before I was scoring for A and B. And the game will continue until the last season is finished. You'll add up your score, and the person with the most points will win. Now, one of the things we didn't show up is going to be the biggest part of this one. And this is going to have heroes. So with heroes, you're going to take a look and you're going to draw the hero shape, which is a new resource. And so let's say I'm looking at this shape here, and I'm going to draw the hero here. So I'll draw the little picture of the sword here. And every space that's beside this, and you can flip this any direction, is going to be taken out. So I'll take out all these spaces here. So these monsters are gone. And if I place, another player placed a monster that's in that area, it will also be wiped out. That's what the heroes do. They also don't have any time on them, so they don't hurt anything. So those are the heroes in this, and that's the biggest difference between this and the original base game here is the heroes, and they're really helpful, and there's a couple of them in here too. So here's going to be this lioness guy, which is really cool because you have these 3 spaces, 1 space array that it's going to take. You have this one here, it's all the diagonal spaces beside it. So a lot of cool thinking that you're going to have to do with these heroes to maximize their use. So that in a nutshell is going to be Cartographers' Heroes. Let's go back up to the table here and I'll give you my final thoughts. All right, I like Cartographers a lot, and Cartographers' Heroes is a really good version of it. Now, this is a standalone game, so you don't have to have the Cartographers base game. You have everything that you need in Cartographers Heroes. So that brings up a point. So it has the same great component quality as the original. It has the same place idea as the original, and all intents and purposes is identical other than basically those heroes. That's the biggest difference between those two. So if you have Cartographers, do you want to pick up Cartographers Heroes? Well, I don't know that you would. I do like the heroes in this game a lot, And I would highly recommend Cartographer Heroes. If you don't own a copy of Cartographer Heroes and you like this idea, I would highly recommend picking up Cartographer Heroes over Cartographers. And if you love Cartographers like a lot and you play it a lot and you go through that pad pretty quickly, this is a good option to add a little bit of difference to the game and add more replayability for your play group. This is a good option. But also, I would say that before you do that, if you have Cartographers, they have a lot of really cool map packs. I would probably go through those map packs. Those map packs change up the game drastically with the board that you're going to be placing your territories on, and they will add a ton of replayability. You may want to go through those first because those are well worth it. Those are amazing, and they will work for this too. So if you have Cartographers Heroes and you love the game, I would highly recommend picking up those map packs. Those map packs, I can't talk about them enough. They are amazing. Now, I love this game. It's really great. I love the heroes. That's my caveats for if you own Cartographers, if you may be looking to pick this up. If you don't own a copy again of Cartographers, this is probably the version, this is definitely the version I would recommend with the heroes. Overall, great game. I love the strategy of trying to figure out where to place all those land types, to try to get those polynomial shapes on that board as efficiently as possible, to try never to have a time that you can't place out stuff, so you can only place out one square. That's really rough. Also, it's really fun to mess up the other player's board when those monsters attack. That's a lot of fun. Love the card art on it, love the component quality, love everything about this. I like that it just has a whatever play count, because really all you have to do is be able to see that land card that flipped over that you have to draw, and be able to and when the monsters attack, you really only care about the person either to your left or right. So it's really straightforward that way. I would recommend, and I have done, I've taken out 10 sheets of the game and I always laminate them, so I don't really have to print out new sheets. And dry erase markers are fairly inexpensive, so I think it's a great option. And one of the cool things you can do for this game is you could get dry erase markers that match the colors of each of the different lands and have enough for each player. And in this case, laminated 10, so you have 10 copies of each of the colors, and have a really nice looking board that's super easy. Just wipe it off when you're done. But love Cartographers Heroes. If you're looking for a flip and write game, this is definitely a great game to pick up and play. And that's my thoughts on it. Thank you for watching.